and subtracting matrices. Matrices you've never had before. That's the plural for matrix. Anyone know what a matrix is?
I've heard of it.
Heard of it? Where have you heard of it?
The movie.
The movie The Matrix.
Yep, I've never heard
The reason why the movie The Matrix was called The Matrix, if anyone remembers what it's about.
aliens.
Computers, is that what you said?
Computers, yes.
Right. People are stuck, the computers overtake the world, and the people are stuck in an unreality where they think they're living, but they're not. They're all in a comatose state. The reason it's called a matrix is because computers use matrices to do their operations and communicate and stuff. So, a matrix, all it is it's another way to organize data. So, when you make a matrix, they do use square brackets. I'm just going to slide down here to this example to show you. Here they've got 3 different players. Their basketball statistics for 1/2 of a game. 8 points, 1 rebound, 2 assists, 1 steal. Everyone's got 4 different pieces of statistics. So you can organize these in a matrix where this is player A, this is player B, and this is player C. And then above here you can have the points, the rebounds, the assists, and the steals. So all you do is you put the information in there. 8, 1, 2, 1. 3, 0, 2, 2. 6, 1, 1, 1. This is the matrix right here. It's a way of organizing information. That's why computers use it. Okay? Now, a matrix has, every one of these numbers is called an entry or an element. I've really never heard it called an element before, just entries, but that really doesn't matter. But, in this matrix, how many rows are in it?
4.
3. Remember, rows go side to side.
Columns are 4.
And there's 4 columns, so this is called a 3 by 4 matrix. You can have, this would be a 1 by 2 matrix. 1 row, 2 columns. You could have a 2 by 3 matrix. Okay? So it goes rows by columns. In order to add or subtract, which we're going to be doing, matrices, they got to be exactly the same size. You can't take 2 different size matrices and add them or subtract them. If you've got this, here we've got a 1 row, 3 column matrix. Here we got a 3 row, 2 column matrix. They can't be added because they're not the same size. Okay? Now, adding and subtracting them is super simple. When you add matrices, I'll just do a simple 2 by 2. When you add 2 matrices that are the same size together, you're going to get a matrix that's the same size. So it's going to have 4 numbers there. Any idea how you come up with this number right there?
4 plus 6.
Right, you just add the corresponding positions. 4 plus 6 is 10. -1 plus -3 is -4. -3 plus 5 is 2, and 0 plus -2 is -2.
That's easy.
Yeah, it's simple. Adding and subtracting matrices, you just add every position or subtract every position. So if I change this to a subtract problem, 4, take away 6 is negative 2. Negative 1, take away negative 3 is positive 2. Negative 3, take away 5 is negative 8. And 0, take away negative 2 is 2. Remember to get your subtraction correct. Like this one, negative 1, take away a negative 3. Again, you can use a calculator, but hopefully you're getting good enough at this that you don't need to punch these numbers in a calculator to find it. When you subtract, remember you change the sign, change the sign. That's why it turns to 2. Okay? So, I'm going to do these 2 examples and then one that's a little harder, and then that's all it is really in this lesson. And all of these we're either going to add or subtract. So, it's a 1 by 2 minus a 1 by 2, so you're going to end up with a 1 by 2. You just take 2, take away negative 1 is 3, because you change the sign, change the sign. Negative 3, take away 7. Negative 10, yep. Okay? 5 plus 6,
11.
negative 7 plus 2,
Negative 5.
negative 1 plus 8,
Negative 7.
3 plus negative 12.
Negative 15.
Negative 9.
Oh, shit.
Yep, remember when the signs are different and you're adding, you subtract them, keep the sign with a bigger number. So, like I said, they're mostly all that simple. We do have ones that have a little bit of algebra in it. They're going to look confusing, but they're easy. I'll just do one you gotta do. Okay, here we have 2 matrices that are equal to each other. So what you've got to do is figure out what does X equal and Y, Z, and W.
Negative, can I say it?
What?
X is negative 5.
X is negative 4. The reason why is this has to equal that because they're equal. 3x has to equal negative 12, so you just divide by 3 and you get negative 4. 5y has to equal negative 5, negative 1.
Z is
Z minus 6 has to equal 1.
5.
What?
7.
Add
7.
6, add 6, and you get Z equals 7. And then W
Negative 3.
is negative 3. So it looks confusing when you first look at it, but when you realize all you gotta do, it's simple. Okay?